it's Harley, and today I'm going to be doing my top 10 favorite houseplants for fall 2018. I did a video like this at the beginning of summer and it was pretty well received, and same as that video, this video is not my all-time top 10 favorite houseplants. They are just the top 10 houseplants I'm currently extra appreciating as of right now because they're doing super well and growing very well for me. So yeah, just keep that in mind. I don't pick favorites, but I kind of do. But I love all my houseplants equally. Just like you and your kids. Just kidding. I'm better friends with some of them when they're behaving better than the others. Anyway, let's just get into it. Okay, so the number one houseplant that is one of my top 10 favorites as of right now is my Variegated Arrowhead. And the reason being, when I purchased this plant, I thought it was going to be kind of finicky, but it actually is so easy, just as easy as the non-variegated version that I have in my household already. This plant has been popping out new leaves. This one's a new one here. It's kind of a smaller one, I think, because it's just acclimating to my house. These two are new, and then there are two other new leaves about to pop out. But this guy is just beautiful, and I really love looking at him. I have it on my kitchen counter in a west-facing window, a few feet from the window, so that I can sit there and stare at it while I drink my morning coffee and enjoy the beauty. So yeah. Next up is a plant I can no longer pick up and move around willy-nilly. It's kind of a laborious task to move it, but it is sitting back here. It's my Monstera Adansonii. This is actually two plants combined in one pot. So I had a really young plant with just a few slits, and then I was able to find an older plant. And honestly, both of these plants are loving this spot. I kind of have it climbing up the wall and it has been doing really well. I swear every day I look at it, a new leaf is forming or unfurling, and it's just really exciting, and they're gradually getting more and more holy, which is great. Next up, I am loving my flowering maple plant. It is this beauty. It's this beauty right here. This plant has just been getting more and more new flowers. As old ones fall off, new ones open up. I mean, that's just such a beautiful coral red, pinky, orangey shade. The leaves are beautiful, super vibrant and green. It's very easy, requires minimal care. I have it in a south window and it's just getting huge. I honestly think this is a super underrated houseplant. It's been doing super well for me. Let me know what your experience with this plant is though. If you have these as houseplants where you live or what. Ooh, that flower is just beautiful. Next up, it's my Monstera Siltepecana. This plant as of right now has 1, 2, 3 leaves forming. I mean, it's kind of a small plant, but it was a small plant when I even first got it. But since planting it in this little pot and placing it on this south-facing table, it has been shooting off new leaves and getting bigger and bigger. I just love how veiny the leaves are. I've heard some people say that this isn't a very easy houseplant for them, but for some reason in my house it's been doing really well, and I really appreciate it right now. It's so cool. Put him back in his little home here. Next up is another very underrated houseplant in my opinion. It is my, let's see if I can pronounce this little baby, Lepismium Cruciforme. That sounds like a freaking Harry Potter spell.
Lepismium Cruciforme.
I'm going to insert a picture of this plant 3 months ago so you can see how crazy it has been growing. I did have it outside for a while, but now that I've brought it back inside, it is still growing quite a bit. It's really cool to see that these like tentacle-y things move around. These little white bits turn into flowers, and yeah, it turns red when it has less sun exposure, and then it turns green when it has more. So as you can see, it has less sun exposure, but it's starting to turn red, which is what I wanted. This one's just really cool, and like I said, super underrated. Do you have one of these? If not, you should get one. It's very easy. Next up is my Crown of Thorns houseplant. This one I also had outdoors for summer, but it wasn't doing very well outdoors. All of the leaves fell off and it was shriveling up and drying out. But now that I have it inside, it's actually gotten a little baby down there and the leaves are growing back in. It's starting to get blossoms. These aren't actually the flowers. They just kind of protect the blooms once they come in. The blooms are actually really tiny and white. So yeah, this plant, I mean look, there's a leaf unfurling right there. How cool is that? I don't know, I really love this plant. It's kind of growing a little wonky, but that's okay. We love a wonky plant around my household, but yeah, this is another one that has been doing well, and I love how some of the leaves get like red tint to them. It's just a really beautiful plant. Next up is another, oh my gosh, all of these are underrated houseplant. Maybe it's just because they're doing well right now, but sometimes they don't do well. We'll see what happens for the rest of the winter. It is my Gold Dust Croton. It used to be tiny, like probably the size of this one leaf, and in the last few months it's just gotten really big. The leaves are getting super thick and full up, especially at the top. I actually trimmed this one down a little bit so that it would grow a little bit bushier, and so far it's been paying off. The gold dusting, hence the name, is really beautiful, and it really stands out against a lot of my other plants. And I love the way this one looks in this black, like quilted looking planter. Oh my gosh, I really love this one. This one has a soft spot in my heart because it was one of the first houseplants I ever got. Next up is my pink arrowhead plant. I've seen this one gaining popularity on Instagram, although I have had this one for a while. This one was not doing great to begin with. I think I overwatered it from the very beginning, and only just now is it coming back from that. As you can see, some new leaves are unfurling, and the leaves that it currently has are just huge. Yeah, this one is just really cool. I love arrowhead plants. If I could only have, oh gosh, if I could only have one kind of plant for the rest of my life, it would be between an arrowhead plant and Monstera plants. So the last two plants on my list are ones that I also cannot just pick up and move because A, they're in really high places, or B, it's just too big at this point and I don't want to like shock the plant. The first of the two is my green heartleaf philodendron. This one is just so rewarding, so cool, and this is one that I really have loved. Watch like wilt and then water and it bounces right back. This one stays fairly happy and I don't have to do much, but it is really nice to look at. The leaves on mine are really starting to get huge, and I think it's because it's not as hot in my house anymore. I just love a good vining trailing plant. Last up on my list is my bridal vine, of course. I don't think I do a video without mentioning this plant. Mine has gotten so huge. When I first got it, it was in a 6-inch pot and it was hanging quite a bit, but it hadn't been getting enough sunlight when I bought it from the nursery. So, I mean, it didn't look too great. I'll see if I can find a photo and insert it here. It was really cool still, but now that it is getting the adequate sunlight, I have it in a 10-inch pot. Gosh, is it a 10-inch or a 12-inch? But it has just gotten huge and it's growing so rapidly. It's starting to get flowers, and again, underrated houseplant. If you don't have a bridal vine, I would definitely recommend it. It's a really cool plant. It'll grow pretty much anywhere, I think. Those were my top 10 houseplants that are doing extra well this end of summer, beginning of fall season. Let me know what your 10 favorite plants are at the moment in the comments down below. I'm really interested to see what plants of yours are doing really well right now. Give me any feedback on what you thought of my 10 picks and if you agree or disagree. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye!